When I was there on the island, it was, I must say, there was a sense that I was being watched. I didn't really know what was going on at the time. I just had a sense that at some time that my car was being followed, and that at other times conversations that I was having with people on the island was being monitored. Revelations through the submission to the inquiry have revealed that there was a team of guards who worked at the Nauru Detention Centre who were directed to spy and to conduct surveillance on me while I was on the island. And of course, I was there with my Chief of Staff at the time. And you got to wonder, what on earth was going on when management of that team decided that running a surveillance operation on a member of Parliament was appropriate? I was there to do my job. I was there to talk to the people inside the centre, the refugees, the families, to speak to the workers inside the centre about how they feel. Often they get very missed in the conversations about the rights and wrongs of immigration detention. I've always made it my business to speak to staff inside these places because they are at the coalface of what really goes on. Over the last year, more and more revelations of abuse and inappropriate treatment inside the Nauru Detention Centre have surfaced. They've surfaced because we've had staff who work inside the centre put their own jobs and careers on the line by coming forward and speaking out, despite the fact that the Australian government puts such harsh and strict gags on them. I thank every single one of those staff for coming forward and being able to shed some light on the terrible, abusive and horrible conditions inside that camp. I also thank the families, the mums and the dads and the children who have to live in this place of horror, this hellhole, for communicating as best they can with the outside world of the conditions that they have to live in. I don't think it was ever appropriate for anybody on the Nauru Island to watch me, to monitor what I was doing, to listen to the conversations I was having with individuals. Not the least, all of this being without my knowledge, without my consent. It's a pretty serious accusation that a private company paid for by the Australian taxpayer was spying on a federal member of Parliament. I've sought my own legal counsel about this. There is very serious questions about whether it is both a breach of parliamentary privilege, and I'll be referring the matter to the Parliamentary Privileges Committee to look at that, and also whether it is indeed a serious breach of the law. Of course, spying on somebody as a private company, unbeknown to them, watching them in their room, following them in their car, most common people would understand that that is wrong. And to that point, I'd just like to make a comment in relation to the Prime Minister's comments, and he was asked about this today. The Prime Minister said that I was being taken care of. The Prime Minister, the Minister for Women, indeed, if he doesn't understand that women don't like to be watched, my gosh, and it is just creepy. Frankly, it is creepy. Women don't like to be watched. And the fact that the Prime Minister, the Minister for Women, doesn't seem to understand that beggars belief. I'd like to ask the Prime Minister how he would feel if his wife was being watched, how he would feel if his daughters were being watched going around about their work. It's simply not okay. And for the broader issue in terms of members of Parliament, this draws a big question mark over how we conduct our work. A big part of our job is to make sure we know what's going on in government-run facilities. Billions of Australian taxpayer dollars are spent running these detention centres. The government keeps the media out. They keep a cloak of secrecy above these places. They investigate and prosecute staff who speak out. It is up to parliamentarians to keep a check on what the government is doing in these institutions. It is our responsibility. It is our job. And we must be able to do that without fear or favour.